this is Aurora with Supercharged Science. Welcome to my Halloween Carnival. I'm going to walk you through it step by step with the lights on, and then we'll take a look at what it actually looks like when the whole room is operating. Are you ready to take a little quick tour? Okay, so basically it is one giant board game, and the kids are going to be interacting, playing, winning points, being able to interact and play with the games, and then they're going to be slowly advancing down the spaces on the board. Let me show you how it's all laid out. So the main idea is that there are several carnival type games set up throughout the room that the kids can earn points from. And the points are pieces of candy, like the kind you would get for trick-or-treating, the small little individual candy bars. And that's the currency for the game. And so there's a number of different ways they can do that, and each one of these little buckets is going to be full of a handful of a particular kind of candy. We have little board games here. This one's particularly cool. These are the markers as well as the dice to advance through the board. And then if you accidentally fall down one of the holes, you will come out one of the holes around the outside of the game, because on the underside, everything's connected. These are like little chutes and ladders, little angled pieces. You could make this with toilet paper tubes and stuff. So there's a number of games. I'm sure you recognize this one with the sticks, and you start with the ball, and you have to try to get them into the little cups. There's a memory game over here. These are plastic. They're plastic wine glasses, and they have little foam balls that they throw to try to get them all down. We have Plinko over here. The cup on Plinko moves, and so as they go through it, you can see here I can pull the cup or rotate the cup, and they have to try to catch the ball. Hole at the top. And then you'd use the cup to actually pick that up. This is a ball toss in here, and we have bingo over here, and this is a Tic Tac Toe game. You can do this a number of ways. This year we're going to actually have the kids put the balls through this particular tube and try to bounce them into the egg crates that I've painted black. But you can just bounce them or drop them or whatever is appropriate for your ages of kids. Haunted Castle, this is a little tiny mini golf course, and so they start on the one over here and go up and over and inside, and then they drop down, and then they go back around, and so forth. And if they do the whole thing, then they get a little candy. And this is an egg sack toss. These are tiny cotton balls that get put into a grid of your little plastic cups that are glued to the board. So lots of really easy and really fun to make types of games. You've probably seen this one before, where you hit this or step on this plank, and then the frog goes flying and into some cauldrons there. And then this is Skee-Ball. This is probably their favorite one, favorite game of all. And they try to get them into the cups that have different points on them. And when they get to certain points, then they would pick a prize. And so there's a number of just different games in here. And I actually only put like a third of the games out, and I will swap them out so they don't get tired of it. The big spider web, that's made of yarn. And the idea is they have a laser pointer and a mirror, and they have to start at one end, and they have to make it all the way around because it's one giant corkscrew. And so they're going to have to make it from the middle to the outside. Okay, and then there's more over here. So you can really go crazy with this, but the idea is every time they've finished a game or completed a game or done well on a game, then they will get a currency, which is a piece of candy. What do they do with that? Well, they go over here to the back of the room, and you see there's a potion shop and a bunch of little bottles full of salt, because otherwise it'll spill if it's actually a liquid. And then we have a trading post. And then over here, we have some little critters. These are some stuffed animals, and they have these little cards next to them. And the idea is that this kitty, for example, named Socks, eats 2 apples, drinks 1 milk, and eats 1 pumpkin. And then if you do that, you get 6 points. And over here we have Jazz. Jazz only eats 1 apple. He's pretty low maintenance. And so we have a bird in a cage here. So all of the little animals all around the room, there's about 20 of them. And in order to get those, you have to go to the trading post, which is over here. Now, I haven't found my apples and my, I did find the candy corn. I'm still looking for my box with the apples. And so you'd come over here to Luna's trading post, and Luna actually has her criteria of things that she would like to eat. She'd like 2 milks and 2 pumpkins, and she'll give you 4 points. So she's the little cat right there. And so the idea is that if you've ever played the game Cat Lady, then you'll know how this game works. So instead of chicken, tuna, and milk, instead of that, we have candy corn, and we have milk. These are the bottles of milk at the potion shop. And then we're going to have apples in here and pumpkins, in addition to the candy corn. And so you can trade, and it's going to be 10 candies for one of these. And we also have some bonus catnip here for some of the cats. They'll give you bonus points if you feed them catnip. And we also have some toys. So you can buy toys for the cats as well. And the cats are happier and they give you even more points. So this tray will be full of apples, pumpkins, and candy corn. And you trade in your candy for these things. And then that candy goes back into circulation with the games. So, okay, so once you get the points at the end of the evening, so this room is only open certain days, it's not open all the time, but for a certain amount of time on certain days, they play the games, they feed the animals from the trading post, and then at the end of the night, they count up their points. Okay, do you see this cat that's hanging right here? So this cat is on a paper chain. The paper chain are like the spaces on a board game. So as you can see, there's a lot of spaces. There's a lot of points that the kids can earn. And so every time, so if they'd say, okay, we got 3 points tonight, I would take the cat off and I would advance it 3 spaces. And then I'd hang him back up. And so he is going to keep track of all the points that they earn this month in October. And hopefully they will make it all the way to the end, because at the end, when they reach the end of this chain right here over by Truffle the cat, Truffle is someone you got to feed to, but he has special powers, then they can earn a prize, like a really big prize. And if the kids don't want to earn points and they just want to play the games, that's totally fine too, right? Then they would enjoy the candy that they earn. They eat it, but then I don't replace it. So if they eat all the candy, then we're out of luck. They can't earn any points. So there's a little bit of a learning lesson in there. So anyway, so that's how the room is set up, as one giant interactive board game. And hopefully the kids will be able to progress that cat as we get through the month. And I should mention that this year, I've actually included a little place just for the parents. So this is where we're going to sit. And there is a bakery here that will have all kinds of goodies that we can enjoy. Kids, of course, can buy their own. Muffins don't just make themselves. They'll have to trade in pieces of candy to get something from that bakery. Whatever I feel like baking that day will wind up here. And then we have the Crescent Moon Cafe, which has some mugs in it, as well as, this is actually some of my favorite recipes. You can do a quick screenshot if you'd like. And here are some of my recipes for iced pumpkin juice, butterbeer, spider cider, and what else do we have? Cauldron cakes, which is like pumpkin cakes. But hopefully you can stop the video if you are interested in making any of these things. So you can do that as well. And so one of the other things is that I rotate the games out. So as I mentioned, I've only got like a third of the games in here, and then I'll take them out and I'll put new ones in, or I'll have a better idea. And sometimes, especially towards the latter part of the month, they'll start to come up with their own games, which is even better. And so they'll bring their games in of ways that they would like to challenge themselves and play and interact and innovate and create, which is super fun. All right. So I'm going to take you on a tour when this is all lit up at night. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Well, welcome back in the evening. Wahahaha. So this is what the Halloween Carnival looks like in the evening. We've got pumpkins and candles everywhere, as well as purple lights. So the lighting is pretty low. Here's the parent couch. And over here you can see a bubbling cauldron. And it just has one of those LED ultrasonic fog machine things plugged in there. And it sprays water absolutely everywhere. So don't put it anywhere that you don't want to get wet. And when after your eyes have adjusted, it's actually pretty easy to see a lot of the different things in here. One of the reasons is because the string of LED lights that are on the floor down here, They actually will make certain colors fluoresce, and so including white paper. So a lot of the papers actually are shining pretty brightly. Over here in a darker corner, you can see we have a lot of those pets that we had talked about earlier as well. All right, I'm going to turn the light on one more time for one more quick look around the room, but I wanted to show you what it looks like when it's all lit up and ready for action with the kids.